Hey guys, saying it's live. We're up here at my house in coastal Connecticut, and we're going to be making a little pastrami, beef pastrami. We'll make a corned beef, and then we'll rub it in a nice spice rub. We'll smoke it, and then we'll finish it by steaming it. Let's get to it. I believe it's like a Northeast, like a classic New York Jewish deli. It's a smoked, peppered, crusted, kind of steamed, fatty, delicious beef brisket. You get a nice little piece of brisket, and this one weighs about 10 pounds. There's two sections to it. They call it, it's the flat and the point, right? I mean, right on the top, you can even start to see that natural line there, right? That where the fat is over it, and there's two different muscle groups that kind of meet. And what we're gonna try to do is just separate that out into two pieces. I asked a couple butcher buddies, and watched a couple people on the YouTube do it as well, and they went to just where it was about that, right? And then they cut it. You can pastrami just about anything, You don't have to go buying a whole brisket. It's an investment. This is no $25 piece of meat, obviously, right? It's 10 pounds. I think they cost about $100. That's a lot of fat. You can leave it if you want. I like to trim it. The old rule of thumb's about an 1/8 inch or so. But it's not rocket surgery. You can just do what makes you feel nice. Leave a little bit of fat on here. All right, let me get a little thing to put all this fat in, all right? Oh God, let me go get a thing. You stay right here, Kev, please. All right, back to pastrami. I don't know if they teach this in pastrami college, but what I like to do is I like to just jab it up with a fork. All right, I have a nice big one, like a nice meat tenderizer, like a barbecue one, but I can't find it. In my brain, it allows penetration, allows some of that brine to get in there, just help get our corned process going. So now that we've got our brisket all butchered up, or to the best of our ability, I'm gonna get some spices together and we're gonna get our brine. Celery seed, little cinnamon. All right, so the next step is corning our brisket, corning our beef. Traditionally, it's done with a pink curing salt. I'm gonna wane away from that, do a little bit of experiment with some other natural ways to achieve some nitrates into your meat. We're gonna use some celery and some sauerkraut juice along with some traditional spices, and we're gonna put that in the fridge for about a week. And we're gonna let that do its nice little corning, pickling, curing process. So to make our brine, I have 6 cups of raw sauerkraut juice, okay? And then I got 4 cups of water, okay? And then we're gonna make 6 cups of celery juice. You got a nice little cold press store by your house, a lot of them have celery. It's actually very good for you in the juice form, and you can buy celery juice. It's a hell of a lot easier than what we're gonna do. I don't have a juicer, so I'm gonna chop some up, put it in the tried and trusted Vitamix, try to make us some moussade, a little liquid. We'll press it out, and we'll see how that goes. Ow! 1/4 cup of, you can use light brown sugar or whatever kind of sugar you want. I like to just use a turbinado sugar. 1/4 cup into the agua. And we're gonna use 300 grams of salt. Good old fashioned, diamond kosher. 303, that's fine. Absolutely fine. I'm gonna add that right to it. This is just on a real low heat, just kind of keep it warm, and I just want to get that nice and dissolved. Some people bring it to a boil, melt it fast, and then you gotta cool it, yada yada yada. I don't do that. I don't care what anyone says. It's like simple syrup. You don't have to heat it, okay? You just don't. Just kind of helps speed it up. Like that's already just about dissolved. Plenty real estate. I got my oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're just gonna add some spices, okay? 1 teaspoon of juniper berry is what we're gonna start with. So watch, 1 teaspoon of those. Mustard seeds. Love allspice. So 2 tablespoons of dried coriander. Pink, my favorite peppercorn. And then a tablespoon of the workhorse, the black peppercorn. We got some black cardamom. I'm gonna throw 2 of those in there if you can find them. Like sherbety and sweet. I have a lot of spices on my fingers, so it's kind of chili de arbol, or any dried chili for that matter. So it's got that it's got a nice little heatness to it. Bay leaves. I gotta go pick a couple. All right, so we got some fresh bay. All right, I keep it right in my little room out there where we put our boots on. And bay leaf, one of my favorite. All right, I'll tell you all about it. Underrated bay leaf. I know I go on and on and on about it. You paying attention, Kev? Pliable leaf. Smells like, oh my God, it smells like bubblegum and orange sherbet. It's just We're gonna add that right to the meat. I don't need to toast those. 1 cinnamon stick. Warm cinnamon, you know, boom, boom, boom. Let's get that in there. Ginger, just gonna give it a little smash. Just open it up like that. Beautiful. Now we're cooking, baby. Fennel seed, cumin. We're just gonna do just a little pinchy poo of that. And then celery seed. A lot of celery in this recipe, but I can't resist. I have to. I just put a little shaky dash in there. And celery seed's awesome. All right, that took a lot of time and thought process. All right, so I don't want to go burning these. And a lot of money too. So we pop those in the oven, 350, and now we just hang out. We wait. I ain't doing nothing. Hold on, let me check my spices. Oh, you smell that? Of course you can't. But it smells really nice. Oh yeah, get in there, Kev. But you can see the juniper berries start to get a little oily. That's what we're looking for. This could go a little bit longer. Oh, but that's nice. I mean, it goes from just being this like dried spice fragrance to like all of a sudden this bursting, blooming kind of very punch you in the face kind of fragrance, which is beautiful. Raw sauerkraut juice. And I'm gonna add that right into our, this is just the really sugary, really salty water. And we're just gonna add that to that, and that's gonna be our base that we're gonna add our celery juice to, okay? We can also add our spices. All right, I'm gonna dump them right in, boom. Last step in this crazy game, we're calling corning, is we're gonna do a little celery juice. So let me chop up, I need 6 cups, so, I wish I had a juicer because this stuff's like all water, right? Ooh, I love the yellow little hearts, right? Put that in a little Bloody Mary. All right, where we go? Where we go? Careful with your Vitamixes. All right, whoa. Settle down. All right, here we go. We're straining. Like Ecto Slimer. I don't know if we're gonna get 6 cups. I'm gonna do a little magic. I gotta do more of this. Right under 6 cups of celery juice, okay? And we have our brine. This is gonna bring us to a total of 1 gallon of liquid. And we're just gonna pour it right over the meat. Oh my goodness, that looks good enough right there. I almost don't even want to add the celery juice, my God. So here's our wild card. Speaking of wild, there we go. Yeah, that looks great, right? We got our brine set up, our briskets in it. In substitution of the pink curing salt is the celery juice, which is high in sodium nitrate. And then we have our culture, which in this case is a sauerkraut juice. And the end result of those two mingling for a week is gonna leave us with a sodium nitrite, which is what we're trying to achieve in the corning process. Think it went bad? No, I'm just kidding. But look at that color, isn't that wild? Now, over in a few days, it'll, like everything, especially greens, they'll oxidize and this liquid will become more of a pink kind of brown. So, but for the meantime, that looks great. It's all jabbed up with the fork, and I put this in the fridge you do a week, and every day you flip it and flip it. Every day you flip it. But I keep a little plastic over it just to limit any type of, whatever. Call me. My new snowblower. Come on in, buddy. I went for it, bud. All right. I don't care what anyone says. I went and built a walk-in refrigerator just for this. But there we go. Keep it in there for a week. Turn it once a day. Keep it cold, cold, cold. And we're making corned beef. All right. End result's gonna be pastrami, hopefully. All right, so it's been 8 days, and turning it every day. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I still went and jabbed it with the fork too. And it's okay if a couple of the spices stick to it. I kind of like when it does, especially like the mustard and the peppercorns. But now we're just gonna pat it dry and then cover it with a spice rub that I'll tell you all about. Now you can really see the grain of the meat after it's been brined like that. Really such a cool cut of meat, the brisket. The brine, I mean, it's the curing factor of it is what we're trying to achieve, right? Or at least an experimentation of the traditional curing method. A good test for me, I mean, like, if you're familiar with corned beef, is right out of the brine, just give it the old snifter, and it should smell like a corned beef sandwich. And we're there. So what we have here, I got this little spice rub. That's what we got going on in here. In my little mortar and pestle, I got another tablespoon of pink and black that I'm just gonna crush up nice. Add right to that mixture. Love a mortar and pestle. Look at that. So we have a nice variety. Some whole, some cracked. I'll do a little bit more. Add that right to this. I'll give it a little. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right. All right, and if you want a little more, add a little more. Smoke them if you got them. Watch your step, boys. We got some snow. I did my best. I got this damn pea stone. All right, so we got our smoker set to 225. All right, super smoke on the tray. So boom, there goes that first cut, second cut, that big boy. All right, I got this. We're gonna put it into the thickest part. The probe in there for the temperature internal. We're gonna try to hit 150, 160. Okay, and at that point is where we would pull it. And you can put it in the oven, wrap it in paper, or you can wrap it in a steaming vessel and let that water get in there and just steam cook it all the way to an internal temperature of 200, 206 degrees. See you in a few hours. Remember, don't go looking too much. If you're looking, it ain't cooking. I love saying that. We're running at 225 smoking temperature, all right? And our probe, which is the internal temperature of our brisket, jabbed into the thickest spot, is registering 131. I poked around with this, which is just another probe thermometer, just to see if I can find anything a little lower. I hit 128. I closed the door, Brad, but that's what we're looking for. Bark starting to set up. You see how this one's a little further? It's starting to get a little saturated in the fat. You close your eyes, you're gonna think you're at Katz. I'm gonna make you a little sandwich on rye. Get out of my deli! All right, we'll see you in a bit. Kev, look, I got the ducks eating our celery scraps. All right. Here, look, you guys, check this out. You go right on the smoker. Oh, guys, you passed your coop. Silly ducks. What are we doing? Oh yeah, our brisket. So we hit an internal temperature 155, and now we're gonna pull it, bring it inside. We're gonna put it in my steam tray vessel, where we're gonna put it in the oven, let it steam for a couple hours so we hit an internal temperature, 200, 205 degrees, and then it's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be pastrami, and we're gonna make sandwiches, and I'm gonna hug and kiss you all. Oh, I forgot a tray. Oh yeah, looking real good. Jumbo fatties. Let's go! So we got our pastrami, we pulled it off the smoker, internal temperature hit about 155, and now we're gonna put it into, I have the oven preheated 300 degrees, and let me show you my steaming apparatus. Get out of here. So yeah, luckily I got this bad boy. Yeah, baby. So it's just like it's a hotel pan. It's the same pan that I was brining, that we corned the beef in. And now it's converted into our pastrami steamer. And luckily I just got this really nice little insert, little steamer. All right, and it's not a super aggressive steam, it's just a nice carryover. And what we're gonna do is, we're gonna bring this meat. I have a little probe thermometer, all right? Goes inside the oven, little, I'm gonna put it right where, same situation that we were doing outside. I'm gonna monitor the internal temperature. I set a timer to 205 degrees in case I, go get distracted. And now we're just gonna steam this, bring it through, carry it through, break down all those connective tissues, bring that internal temperature up past 165 where those things start to break down and really get tender. Pull it, let it rest for a half an hour, then we're gonna slice it up, get a little mustard, a little rye bread, make you a little sandwich. Stupid electric oven. And yeah, this comes out, all right? Let's not be crazy. All right, close that little mama. New towel. Loser! Steam job. All right, here we go, baby. You ready, Kevo? Yeah, bud. Yeah, bud. Ooh, butter. Ooh, yeah. That's what we're talking about. Oh, God, Brad. Brad, what are you doing? Now we had it rest for about 30 minutes. He's gonna cut it up and we're gonna taste it. Oh, it smells so good. So it was resting, we pulled it out, it had an internal temperature at the thickest point. We hit 203 degrees Fahrenheit. Identify the grain, looks like it's going that way. You can see that what our brine did was go through it. It looks nice and juicy. Pink salt, this would be all like glow in the dark red, and it's nice. I do like it. It's a beautiful thing. I grew up having, you know, that kind of corned beef and pastrami. But this was a nice experiment. Delicious. We made pastrami. And we get all those pickles with the coriander, the mustard seed. Oh, it's so good. It's one of my favorites. Look at that. What a thing of beauty right there. Tastes like corned beef that's been smoked and peppered and spiced. Go in with a friend. It's a nice project. It's a lot of meat, and it's just delicious. All right, guys, that's pastrami. We messed around. We ditched the pink salt. We picked up a little celery juice and some sauerkraut juice. We smoked it. We steamed it. Brought it up to that 206 degrees internal temperature to make it just super tender and juicy. You know, eat it in a couple days. Then you can wrap it, pack it in the freezer, steam it to heat again, and you're rocking and rolling, man. Pastrami. Love it. Can't go wrong. Bon appetit! Woo! 30. 29. I like my snow at a crisp 27. This is, oh, there it is. Yeah, I knew it. I knew that was right there. But, you know, you want it to be around 31 for snowballs or for the proper snowman making packable snow. I don't know if that's true, but it sounded right.